y'all, it's Clairvoyant Jess, and I have actually decided I was going to start doing a little bit of, I guess, videos and different things in regards to my journey. I felt like it was something that, a lot of people that follow me on Facebook and have seen my lives, especially over the last several years, they've gotten to know parts of me, but they haven't known really who I was in the backstory that came with everything that brought me to this place that's been this long, strange journey of what I prefer to call a spiritual shit show. So, because that's really what it's been. I mean, I guess we all, see what people are doing when it comes to on Facebook and, when we're doing the readings and everything else like that, and they think it's all, just rainbows and unicorns. And let me just tell you, my spiritual journey has been more of a, it was more of a train wreck than anything. And so I wanted to kind of, I guess, talk a little bit about that and also share with y'all a little bit about the dark night of the soul, which I feel like is something that is a highly underspoken topic, but is also just goes hand in hand with the spiritual awakening and the spiritual journey process. So hopefully this touches you in some way or helps you, I guess, with some way to kind of bring you some sort of understanding or peace to maybe where you're at in your life. But I've had spiritual gifts as long as I can remember, and saw things that other people didn't see. So I think the earliest memory I had was around 2 or 3 years old. And it was Indian chief that used to come to my bedroom door that had a hatchet at his chest, and he just stood there, and it scared the shit out of me. According to my mother, I had a really overactive imagination, and that it was nothing, but it really was. I really was not making it up, and it was, and it was something that I experienced my whole life, and that I guess, and because I was struggled so much with understanding it and with wondering if it was my imagination or if I was crazy, I'd open myself up, I'd close myself off. I'd open myself up and I'd close myself off because it would just, some of the stuff that would come would be so intense and so scary. If you have any intuitive, or if you are intuitive yourself, you probably have experienced some level of that. Maybe not in the same capacity, maybe in a different capacity, maybe in the exact same one, who knows. But more than anything, I mean, we've all experienced those things that were like, oh, damn it. And so I just had shut it completely down. I would deliver messages, I guess, or I would get these gut instincts, is what I guess everybody would say they would be. I had all these good gut instincts, and I would generally say things to people just to try to guide them or kind of give them warnings my entire life. But when really things truly amped up was in the middle of the biggest train wreck, I guess, of my life, which my father had just died. Me and my father were extremely close, and I loved him dearly. I was going through a divorce that was not pretty. I mean, and when I'm saying not pretty, I'm saying like, it could be either what a Lifetime movie was made out of, or maybe a Bad Country song. I'm not really sure, but one or the other, could even be both. But that's really, it was pretty intense. Along with that, I was also, had put my sister had to go into a rehab at that point. So I was trying to manage all that and be a single mom and have a career. Really went well. I was drinking a lot. Like a lot. Yeah, I just drank a lot. So it's just how I had to numb the pain. Because it was just so much. It was so much to deal with, and it was just one of those things that instead of actually facing the trauma, even though I was going to therapy, so I mean, I will say that. So I mean, I did attempt therapy at that point and tried to face it, but I also knew that there was more that was going on underneath the surface that I didn't really fully understand. until I started really getting a lot more messages. They started coming a lot faster, a lot more intense, and I couldn't shut them off. So I felt like my life was on a really just fucked up roller coaster, that I didn't know where the off ramp was. So, and I will say that Spirit's always got a great way to help us through that process. But mine was not pretty at all, because of just how far off I went with drinking and just not trying to numb everything to deal with life, and not have to actually really face some of the shit that was going on in my world. I ended up having to have a nervous breakdown. Those are fun. I don't know if you've ever experienced one of those, but you really, I mean, definitely say wouldn't put it on your list of things to do if you haven't. So, but I totally had a nervous breakdown with everything after a few years. And then they started trying to say I had all these conditions, because of the intensity of the messages that I would get, and because of all the different things that would go on around me. I would sometimes be up, down, and all around with my energy. Sometimes I'd be literally unable to even function because of the energy being sucked out of me, or I would I would sound like I was, someone had pulled like one of those chains on a toy or something like that and couldn't shut up. And so they wanted to medicate the hell out of me and swear that I had, something wrong with me. And as with everything, I guess, in life, there is no accidents. And my son and I were going to a mixed martial arts gym, and I crossed paths with somebody that delivered some messages to me that was an important one, and it was from my dad. And again, this was before I really knew how to fully control or open up my gift, and probably getting a message from my dad direct, I would have probably had a hard time receiving it. Even though I was getting signs from him, I would see things that I definitely knew were him. But that was, but actually hearing and speaking to him, it took me a while to actually get to that place. So and the message she gave me was super simple, which but it was powerful for me, and it was that it's time to accept your gifts. It's time to open up to who you are. So I kind of did. What I mean by kind of did, I mean that I still kept drinking at a very high level, and I gave drunk readings on my back patio to people that were brought to my front door. That was just about it, because, I mean, they literally had to be brought to my front door for me to actually do anything about it. I wasn't going to step outside of my comfort zone. No, that was, that'd be too weird to do that. Step outside your comfort zone and actually embrace who you are. So I continued to fight it and fight everything that was all around me, not just spiritually, but even the people. And I didn't realize that the chaos that I was bringing into my own world and life. So I did help people, as I did, through those years. I guess would help them as I had to, but it was always in my comfort zone. And for about 2 years, the messages and the activity and the stuff that was happening around my home just continued to escalate and escalate and escalate. I mean, I would wake up and I would have, people that had departed in my bed, or they'd be in my hallway, or, they'd be surrounding my bed. It was, I didn't know how to shut it off. And so it led to it controlling my life and me being out of control because I didn't really know what to do or how to do, or even where to go. I mean, you know, where's the woo-woo school? Like, where's the manual for this shit? Nobody gave me a manual. They forgot to give me the manual for this. I didn't get the book. Did y'all? Because I didn't. Anyways, but so I lost my first corporate job ever in history. I had never actually lost a job. I'd never been let go from a job, but because of just the chaos that was around me, I was not able to maintain anymore. And I started noticing there was a pretty consistent cycle of me being able to maintain life for a certain period of time, and then just train wreck. Because I had this other stuff that I was battling. And I remember getting to that point where I actually stopped, and I had to really have some, I guess, quick conversations with myself, because I didn't have long, because obviously I have a son that needed to be provided for, and I was unemployed and a single mom. And so I literally launched Clairvoyant Jess and furniture refurbishing, because those are both the same. They're so close to each other. But it's the two things that I knew that I could do. And I knew that people would, you know, that I could potentially, I guess, share with people. I was scared shitless to launch Clairvoyant Jess, even though for over a year, Spirit had been sending me signs of nails and screws, and they would throw change at me. And I mean, and I'm talking about like so much that I'd even find it in my toilet. I am not kidding. I was about to say I'm not shitting you, but then I guess that could have been a punny. But yeah, that it was. I know that when they were sending me all those different signs, that they were telling me every time when I found that stuff, they were like, "You're going to take this path, and it's either going to be, you know, by your choice of face first." And well, I guess I chose face first, like the long hard way, and it was not easy for me. Because one, I'd only read people drunk on my back porch, so that was, you know, one thing. And so I didn't even know if I could read people that I had never met or never seen, or even how that whole process worked. And I was scared shitless, and I finally realized that I was not winning in life. I wasn't winning at all. I mean, it was a freaking train wreck of an experience. I mean, that I held together by helping everybody else but myself. Because it was so much easier to look at their shit than it was mine. Not always the case. So, the day that I finally I remember I hit my knees and I said, I surrender. I surrender with blind and unwavering faith. I will follow whatever path it is that you guide me on. I can't do this anymore. I can't fight anymore. I'm not just, I obviously, if you give it to me and let me handle it on my own, will royally fuck it up. But I know that their plan was way bigger and way better than anything that I could ever possibly come up with. So, when I started the lives, it has taught me so many different spiritual lessons. I have gone through so much now to, I guess, not only understand my own spirituality, but the breaks in people's souls and spirits that happens because of the traumas that we have in life. The stuff that we try to cover up and we try to say that we dealt with, or that it doesn't bother us anymore, but we really just kicked it under a rug and didn't really pull it out and deal with the ugly stuff. All this train wreck that I'm talking about and all this chaos that I dealt with, That is called the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul is literally some of your darkest hours. It is the place that you have to get to say, okay, this is life of what I'm experiencing, and obviously I'm not winning. It's that awakening process that we go through that everybody always is like, I think I'm going through my spiritual awakening. Well, if it's a happy, shiny, rainbow moment, more than likely, it's not really your spiritual awakening. You may be accepting spirituality, but your spiritual awakening generally has that, the dark night of the soul is going to happen at some point, and it's going to be, it's going to be adventurous. Nice way to put that. It's not really adventurous. It's like trying to throw water out of a damn rowboat that's got a hole in it. Especially if you're still trying to control the boat. But, so, as I started, I guess, down this journey, I guess the only thing that I knew that I was going to be doing was I was like, I talk to dead people. I can tell people about stuff that, the dead people tell me, and I'll help them out that way. And I thought that was just going to be easy peasy, real easy to do, and I just deliver these messages, and it's one and done, and we're over. Guess what? Spirit showed me again that it ain't that easy. It's not all about just delivering the messages. And there are people that out there that are really struggling and battling with spirituality, with religion, within themselves they're fighting. And that's when I started to go and take classes and courses to get certified in all these different modalities for healing. And not just the different healing modalities, but learning and understanding more about the traumas and the breaks and how to help heal people. Not just here's a message from your grandpa or your your dear aunt so and so, or whoever it is that you had lost, because those are great and they do help. But there's a healing that needs to happen for a lot of people at a soul level, because they've been fighting just like I fought for so many years. I mean, and I'm talking about the majority of my life, for the train wrecks that I had created and for the things that I had just brought into my world, and would go, on that roller coaster that left me feeling so spent. So when I started delivering the messages and started getting the different certifications, it led me here and now, and wanting to make a difference, not just for people with the messages, because I love the messages. I mean, don't get me wrong, that is by far, hands down, always a joy to do. It's my favorite thing, and but also teaching people at this point and educating people on their own spiritual journey, so that they're not battling and fighting life the way that and thinking that it always has to be this this shit show for and that it just never can be peace inside. Am I saying that this is pretty all the time? Am I saying that things are perfect? Hell no. I'm not saying I'm living in Shangri-La. We all have stuff to still deal with, and some of it's ugly. It's life. We're here to have a human experience and to deal with, different things for our soul growth. So it's not going to be perfect and easy, but it's just enjoying the ride and not living on the train of chaos anymore. So, anyways, this is my first story, I guess, I wanted to share, and it is a major, a helicopter view over, maybe, it's probably a NASA, like we're in space at this point, view of my journey. But I wanted to at least kind of get this to where I was giving an intro, and then we're going to continue on, and I'll have some probably weekly, once a week or twice a week, I'll do some other videos to kind of keep some different content out there and helping other people to recognize and learn more about me, and also about your spiritual journeys. If I can answer any questions, or if you need help with your spiritual journey, please book a session with me, or send me a message about my classes. I have group classes, I have individual one-on-one classes, and I'd be honored and humbled to help you in any way on your journey. So I hope that y'all all have a great rest of your week. All right, bye. Or weekend, whatever I'm saying. Bye.